Meetings to plan a meeting to plan a meeting, also known as the circle jerk of the business world. Read this story and more about all the crazy people Jen Mann has worked with over the years. Working with People I Want to Punch in the Throat is now available everywhere books are sold.
Hi, I'm Denise Grover-Swank.
And I'm Jen Mann.
And we are two Midlife Mommas.
Welcome to the podcast.
We are excited to have you here. We have a couple of things we're going to talk about today. One of them, and I will say that Jen has a Facebook group if you're interested. It's called Midlife Bites. And so we're getting a lot of our topics from the group of people, what they're talking about, what they're asking advice for. And so it's a great mining place to find
It's been
things.
a really good resource.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we'll say what should we talk about this week? And I'm like, well, let's see what's trending in the group and see what they're talking about.
They never disappoint. There's always something going on.
True.
So this week we're going to talk about two different things, making friends, and then something else we're calling doing it all. And it's kind of a conglomeration of just the fact that moms seem to end up doing everything and what to do about that. A lot of people are frustrated. So first, I guess we'll talk about making friends. So one thing I've noticed as I've gotten older, I've moved a lot. So that's been difficult. I know a lot of people grow up and maybe go to college in Quebec where they used to live when they grew up. And so they still have high school friends, they have work friends, and they have, a friend group that they hang out with. But for someone like me, I've moved around a lot. And so when I moved back to Kansas City, I didn't really have that. I wasn't close with the people I went to high school with. And so it's been difficult for me to find friends. So what's been your experience, Jen?
I think it's been difficult for me my whole life.
Well, I will say that too.
No, I moved around a lot as a kid.
Yeah.
And then we came to Kansas City. I graduated from high school here, but I didn't really like it here. And I didn't like it. So there's not a lot of people. Sometimes people will recognize me and they'll be like, I think we went to high school together. I'm like, no, that's another person. And I just keep walking. And then, I don't know, the mom groups and stuff are always kind of tough for me. I don't feel it. Because it's maybe you have this thing too, because we work from home kind of. We have a non-traditional job, the two of us. And so it's the working moms aren't quite sure what to do with me, and the stay-at-home moms aren't quite sure what to do with me.
Yeah. Well, and then I have the added issue of I'm single.
Yes.
So I noticed once I'm a widow, for people who don't know, and it's, it was over 10 years ago. So it's I'm past that. We're past the you don't have to be, I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. But I noticed that as soon as I lost my husband, I started losing friend groups.
Really?
Yeah, because, we did things with couples, and I was now the fifth wheel. And so I stopped being invited to things because I no longer fit in. Yeah.
That's really fucked up.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear.
Yeah.
I am sorry about that.
Because
you would think your friends would that's the time to rally.
Well, they do it first, and then it doesn't take long for that. We could do a whole show on widowhood if we wanted
Let's
to.
do that.
Yeah.
We'll add that to our list.
Yeah.
I think there's probably a topic there, definitely, that people would want to talk about.
Yeah.
Well, I think for me, it just... the internet really kind of saved my life and helped me make friends.
Me too.
Most of my friends live in my computer.
Yeah, mine too.
And most of them live across the country or across the world.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So I kind of just found that has been very helpful. But I also find that I have to, as I'm getting older, you kind of used to make friends through your kids too.
Right.
You'd make friends with the friends' moms or whatever. Yeah. And now my kids are in high school and middle school, which I think you're in the same boat, even older, some of your kids. And it just doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
And so now, someone was saying that we need to get on Meetup. That Meetup has a lot of groups for people that you find your interests.
Yeah.
And then you join
I heard about that from your group.
Yeah.
Actually, Midlife Bites. I had never heard of Meetup. So
I've done writer stuff through Meetup, but I've never done let's go to the Nelson Atkins the museum and walk around for the day or something, which because that would not appeal to me. But there's a lot of drinking ones that might appeal to me.
Is it wrong that I'm like, my eyes are lighting up?
There are wine
Getting
groups that I
excited.
like book clubs, and there's things like that I could join that I do have interest in. I kind of want to learn how to knit and join like
Me
a knitting
too.
and like join a knitting club.
Me too. I tried to take a knitting class once and it didn't go so well. But my daughter and I discovered that loopty yarn.
Oh, what's that?
It's yarn with little loops in it, and you can finger knit.
Oh.
And so it is really expensive.
Yeah.
But like we both made blankets, and now I'm making a scarf, which she keeps making fun of because I'm like creating my own pattern, and I keep screwing it up, and she keeps telling me, she's like, it's too thick. It's not.
It's not really
my scarf. Leave me alone.
It could just be a small blanket.
But I want to like learn how to really knit.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, does that make me old that I want to know how to knit?
I don't think so. I see lots of younger people knitting. Like I think that's a thing right now.
I think so. I think it's trendy.
Learn.
We're just trendy.
We are. We're so hip.
We're so hip.
But I think though I did take a look at Meetup. I will say I did take a look at it, and because I think for me, it's sort of like you said you're single, but like. It's almost like dating, finding friends, know?
Yes.
In fact, on the way over here, I was listening to the radio and they were talking about how this weekend there's going to be like this board game. There's a bar downtown that has board games and booze, and they're going to do a speed dating thing. And I was like, that would be kind of fun, but for like women who want to find friends.
Yeah,
like,
right? Yeah.
Like I would go play Parcheesi and like
I've never played Parcheesi.
Well, we would see your
teach
friend
me.
would teach you. But I think that like part of it is you have to kind of put yourself out there a little bit.
Yes.
And that's
just scary.
Hard.
Yeah.
Yes.
We'd have to put on pants and probably makeup and fix our hair.
A real friend wouldn't make you put on makeup or fix your
But when
hair.
you're first meeting them, though,
maybe
you want to put on. Well, you don't want to like put out a false sense of who you are.
like you want to walk that fine line between like I don't want to scare you.
Right.
Like, this is what I normally look like, but I'm not going to put on like false eyelashes and like curl my hair for you either.
Well, I curled my hair for you today. In fact, I had hot rollers in my hair, and my younger son, who's 13, looked at me and he's like, "Whoa, you're fixing your hair."
Are you leaving the house, Mom?
I know, right?
I know. It's either that or my kids are like, oh, are you going live on Facebook? I'm like, yeah, my hair looks good. I'm doing it.
Exactly.
The one time it looks good. Yeah, see, today I didn't get it done. So my hair is not curled. So if you're watching this on the YouTube, I apologize. But this is the real me, fellas and ladies. But I think that you have to put yourself out there, and I think that's a hard part because I think we're always afraid. Like if you're like me, I walk into a room and I immediately think like I have nothing in common with anybody here.
Right.
And that is me saying that.
Right.
That is not them telling me that.
Right.
And so I'm trying to work on that where I'm trying to be like, I'm not the friendliest person. And so I'm trying to walk in with like a smile and just like, and be like, no, I'm happy to be here.
Yeah.
And because I do think you're kind of like what you exude is what you get back.
Yeah.
And so so I am trying to, and I'm trying to do new things where I can meet new people.
Well, like stand up.
I did do stand up.
Yeah, that was so cool when I saw that you did that.
I did that. Well, see, and that was sort of, so this is a friend who I don't like, she's an online friend and I know her, but we don't really like hang out or whatever. And last Monday night, she sent me a message and said, hey, Jen, do you want to come watch stand up with me? It's open mic night. And normally I would be like, I'm busy. I got a thing. My bra's off already. I'm home for the night. But I was actually like dressed and I had nothing going on. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go. Like, I like her. I should make an effort to hang out with people who I like. You know, I'm going to go. I can't keep saying no.
Right.
So I went, and then I got there. And she swears she didn't know this, but I found out when I got there that there was like this class that she was like, oh, come to this comedy class where we can learn more about comedy. And when I found out what that really was that it was like a prepper to get people on stage for open mic.
Oh, wow.
And so the owner of the club was like, so if you're here now, and don't worry, you're all going to get your moment on stage. And I was like, wait, what?
What?
Which, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I can get up in front of a crowd and do my thing, but honestly, like the scariest part was that I only had 3 minutes. I think I've already talked 3 minutes right now just telling the story.
Yeah. Exactly.
And so I was like, I don't know if I can limit it to 3 minutes. You might have to hook me off stage. Right. But I got it there. But then he gave me 5 because I told him I was long-winded. So I got 5, and then I got invited back.
That's so cool.
And so I went back again, and I got 10 minutes that time. But I met some really funny ladies. There was a woman who I'd watched her perform ahead of me, and I was like, we should be friends.
Yeah.
And then when I walked off stage, the first thing she did was hand me her business card, and she was like, we should be friends. And I was yay! So, you make friends when you leave your house.
Yeah, you have to leave your house and make an effort. Yeah. I went to well, it wasn't a signing. I went to a writers conference this past weekend, Writers Police Academy. And usually when I go to a signing or something, I have an author friend that I know that I'm going to hang out with on downtime and stuff. But I didn't really know anybody that close. And so I was a little anxious about it. And so I was like, it's okay. You're not going to like make friends. You're going to learn about forensics. I learned all
We're
about
professionals.
I learned all about, it was Writers Police Academy. I learned all about collecting evidence. And I got to process my own fingerprints. And anyway.
Oh, good. You're in the system now.
Yeah, I know. I know. I kept them. I got those suckers back. But I, like at night, like I hung out in my room some for dinner. I didn't know anybody to have dinner with. And I was okay with that. Like I just went back to my room and I had to work. Like I'm always working. But then the last night, so like a couple of people recognized me and they're like, oh, I didn't know you were coming. And I kept saying, I'm like flying under the radar. But then the last night I put an effort and I was like, okay, I'm going to go to the bar. Cause I always feel awkward. Like if I'm like sidling up to people having a conversation in my head, I'm hearing, oh my God, what is she doing?
Right.
Everybody just ignore her. Yeah. Or, oh, let's just talk to her because, we feel, and it's not true.
No.
It's not true. But yeah, that's.
Because think how many times you've been on that other side of that. Where like you've been talking to someone and then someone else just wanders by and is like, hey, mind if I join you? Your first reaction is like, fuck no. Like, like it's not that ever.
Right,
so
exactly.
why would you think that that's what someone's thinking about you?
Exactly, but that's what's going through my head.
Yeah.
And then, so then I hung out for a couple hours in the bar and had fun. And like, people were like, oh my God, I didn't even know you were here. And I was like, if I had just like hung out in the bar, I would have been having more fun.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, that is my tip because I do go to conferences a lot by myself because I don't socialize. But then when I do want to see people, I will go on Twitter and I'll be like, I'll be in the bar in an hour. Like if you want to say hello, come see me.
Yeah.
And then I always get people to come by. But I think you're right. Like, and the other good thing about writers conferences, if you like, I've learned this over the years of going alone. You just walk up to a table, and if you feel like you want to say something, you ask them what they write, because writers will love to tell you what they write. So I always just sit down, like, tell me what you write. I've made 18 new friends, and I've probably found 5 new favorite writers, and I've bought all their books. So.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's one thing too, is like making friends is the art of small talk.
Yeah.
Learning how to like make small talk conversation and like, because I know sometimes I have to psych myself up for that.
Yes.
Like, okay, well, here's things I can like talk to, and the best thing to do is get someone talking about themselves, and then you learn about them, and then they ask about you, and then it just like,
and half the time
natural.
It's quite interesting what you learn.
Yes. Yeah.
A few months ago, I can't remember where I was going now. Ohio. I was going to Ohio, and I don't know. The man in front of me, we were lined up at Southwest, and he just started talking to me about, being lined up like cattle or something, and didn't want to know what I was going to. We were going to Columbus, and he was going for the world's largest ham radio convention.
Oh, cool.
And he's like, sit next to me on the plane. I'm going to tell you all about ham radio. Okay. And like now, like he emails me stuff, and like, he's like 70. Don't get excited, Hubs. Like,
it's not.
We have a ham radio friendship here. But I'm just saying, like, I don't know. I would never have met someone like that. Like, but the fact that he like started talking to me, like, I'm not that person. So I'm glad he did, though, because now I know all about ham radio, and I kind of want to join the club. How sad is that? But knitting and ham radio, those are going to be my 2 new things.
Ham radio came in handy in season 3 of Stranger Things.
There you go.
You never know when you're going to have to ham radio someone about a monster.
Well, like I told him, when the shit hits the fan, like that's all that's going to be left. So
when the zombie apocalypse hits, you're going to know.
Right. I have a little prepper inside of me still. I feel like I need to know how to can vegetables and work the ham radio.
So do you know how to can vegetables?
No. I have a whole Pinterest board about it.
I love it.
I have a whole Pinterest board that will teach me how when the apocalypse comes, and hopefully Pinterest is still hanging on there, then I can go there and learn.
I never can, because I was always scared I was going to give my family botulism.
Right. We need to find a friend who can.
There you go. And a friend who can knit to teach us how to knit.
Yes.
I keep saying I'm gonna watch YouTube videos.
And then that's the other thing though. We have to figure out what we can teach our friends though. Like I guess my whole thing is like I'm always like I'll just entertain you. Like,
Yeah, I don't know, but I can
tell us stories. You can read to us from your books.
There you go. There you go.
That's what I feel like. I feel like I entertain. We entertain
We
people.
entertain.
So
Yeah.
they can teach us to knit, right?
Yeah.
It's
There
a
you
fair
go.
trade-off, I think.
I'll just bring wine.
There you go.
Yeah. So Jen saw my signs. I have like a whole bookshelf that y'all can't see, and I have all these different signs that I've been collecting over the years. And so this one says, "When all else fails, wine, wine, wine." You know, WINE. But
Yes. So it's like we need to like feature them because if you're watching us on videos, like we need to have something interesting for our video people to see.
So we'll have a new sign every time.
Yeah, so
I've got a few of them.
Right.
It'll
So
last us.
keep an eye out.
Probably good 10 or so.
Yeah.
We can use that. We can put that one with the map coordinates out here.
Yeah, what's that? Well, you don't tell us. Let people figure it out.
It may say at the bottom, but yeah.
We'll cover it up.
Yeah, my shelves are full of signs and things that speak to me, and then things that my kids have given me, but then also a lot of things that pertain to books.
Yeah.
So
do your readers send you a lot of this stuff?
some of it, like that picture up there, and I should have Ross hand it to me. There's a picture up there that's a farmhouse. A reader painted for me, and it's Rose. One of my series, Rose Gardner. She painted that, and it said it was Rose's farmhouse. So, and it's actually really close to how I have it in my head.
Yeah, I can
but I have very strange walls in here. You can't see those either, but it's wood paneling, and so it's really hard to hang things up here. So, since I don't really have a place to hang it, I thought about hanging it in my hall, but I like having it in my office I can see it. Yeah. So yeah, so maybe I'll take a picture and post it on our page.
Yes.
When this airs, I'll post a picture of it. So yeah,
because that is the nice thing about having readers, because they feel like friends to me.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely feel like friends.
In fact, a lot of them treat me better than my friends.
Amen.
A lot of them send me much nicer gifts than my friends
I know,
give me.
the gifts that people send are just, amazing.
We should do a whole show about that one day. We'll do like a whole show of just like fabulous gifts that we've received from people that are like really amazing. Because I'm a terrible gift giver. This is not even a topic we're going to talk about, but I don't care. I'm going in.
There we go.
So I'm a terrible gift giver.
Me too.
Like I'm all about the gift card. I'm like, everyone likes Target, right?
Yeah, right. Well, so I don't know how much you know about love languages.
A little bit.
Okay,
just enough to know
like,
mine is sarcasm.
Gifts is like the bottom thing for me.
Yeah.
And so I love to, it's so weird though, because I love to give gifts because I know that's how people like to receive love. So a lot of my kids like to receive gifts. So I love to do that for them. But like other people, like I have the hardest time trying to figure out something to give other people outside of my kids. Yeah. And so the gift card, but like that's frowned upon, right? Yeah. But like, gifts for me is like lowest of the low. Although and so then it's like, oh my God, I have 6 kids. So I'm like, oh my God, another kid's birthday's rolling around. I got to figure out something to give them. Something
that they don't already have. Something that is not like ridiculously expensive. Yeah. Something that, like all these things. Yeah. And see, to me, I'm just, if someone gave me a Target gift card,
I'd be so happy.
I'd be so happy. I'm like, toilet paper and new pants. Thank you.
I know, right?
But no, I get really thoughtful gifts that like I get gifts and I'm just like, I didn't even know, like I would not have even thought to buy this for myself, but yet you bought. Wow,
I know,
it's so
right?
amazing because I do love this. You're right.
Yeah, no, I know. I get so amazing.
Like something like that for someone to paint.
I know. I was just so humbled. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
so humbled. Yeah.
And then I think, gosh, I must not love authors enough because I've never done something that nice.
I know.
So I'm a
Unless
bad
they're my
reader.
friends, and then I kind of
I think that's part of why I'm a bad friend because I give bad gifts. My presence is your gift, friends.
Well, it's good enough for me. It's good enough for me
today, at least.
Well, okay, so like when kids, but what about when you get older and you like move? I mean, I know they have like meetups, and that's one of my problems. Is like when I moved here, my kids. I didn't seem to make friends with the mothers here. And then, I didn't really have any hobbies because I'm so busy writing. That's my hobby. And it just, I didn't even know about meetups. So I have another author friend, Trisha Lee. We met on Twitter before we were even published. And so I had mentioned on Twitter, this is back when Twitter was a safe place to hang out, back in like 2010. And I like met a lot of authors on Twitter, and we would like come on every night and talk about our WIPs, works in progress, and give word counts and do races, and like every hour we'd like put a line from what we'd done, and so it was like a really great place to hang out. And so I had mentioned I was going to see a play here in Kansas City, and she was like that night, and she was like, I'm going to see, and we were like literally on the same row, just on opposite, and we met at intermission and became friends. But like to me, that's like lightning in a bottle. Like it doesn't happen. Like I don't have that many other friends in person here. And again, it's like when I've had friends, it's been someone who's been single and they don't have like a husband, or and we can just hang out, just the two of us, and they don't have to worry about a husband. And so but there's most people are married, and so
see, and my husband, we hang out together, the two of us, but we really don't do a lot of couple stuff,
right?
He doesn't like to do couple stuff. And so, and his hobbies are all sort of like, he likes networking and going to like business. Like I'm like, oh, there's like at the library. I go to the library a lot to listen to like whatever lectures or whatever they're doing at the library. If they're bringing in guest speakers or whatever, like there's always something that will appeal to me. And I'll be like, oh, you should come with me. And he's like, hard pass.
Yeah.
And so then like I'll call you next time and I'll be like, hey, Denise, we should go see this because I think that that's part of it too, is that we have to reach out.
Yes. Yeah. And I think part of it is there's that fear. Like we both like, I'm like, well, I'd ask Jen, but I mean, does she really want to? Will she, and if she says no, because she's really busy, in my head, it's like, well, she's not really busy. She just didn't want to go. And so it's just that self-doubt and that belief that I think it's like we're not worthy of other people's friendship. And so we need to move past that and recognize that, hey, we're pretty awesome people.
Yes.
but when I can tell you that when you leave today, there's going to be all those things in my head of like, oh, well, I said this. Did that offend her? Like, did I and even though you are like, oh my God, I was really stupid when I said that. But it's not so much with you, because I feel like we both kind of connect to that. Like we both are just like out there. But some people are kind of like, ooh. Like,
I'm more worried about things I said 10 years ago. Like I will lay at night and I'll be like, remember that one time 10 years ago when I told that, when I called the school to call my kid in sick and I said, love you, to to the receptionist. Like that's sort of my worry. I mean, I think it just depends, but I think that's part of what makes a friend though too, is that you have to be able to feel comfortable. If you don't feel comfortable, then they're not your friend. Exactly. Like if you're worried that they are not, what am I trying to say? If you're worried that like when you leave, they're sort of dissecting everything you've said and they're kind of like going through it all, then they're not probably your friend.
But I think that happens more at the beginning of a friendship when you're like feeling each other out. And
that's why I try to be like really honest. Like I'm always like, here's the thing, like I cuss like a sailor. Like sarcasm is how I show I love you. Like if I don't tease you, I probably hate you. And like really, it's like the people I'm the nicest to are probably the people I like the least. And so I really, like
exactly
I'm kind of harsh on my friends.
If Jen is really nice to you, sorry, she doesn't like you.
No, probably not. Like if you're like, I don't know, she's always like so sweet when I see her. Yeah, well,
she's been pretty nice to me though, so now I'm scared.
Just reining it in still, because we're still dating.
We're still dating.
You don't know me that well yet. See, because that's the thing. Like even us, like we've lived here in the same city. For how many years? We've known each other. We say hi in passing when we see each other. But it's taken us this long to finally like. Let's do something together.
Yeah. And so like Jen had posted on Facebook, and I don't know if I told this story, that she was looking for someone who was like outgoing and fun and had, I don't even know what you were looking for that person for. So I like hopped on a message and I'm like, oh my God, are you going to do a podcast? Can I do it with you?
What was I looking for? Oh, I'm looking for funny, outgoing, confident women who can get up on stage. Do you want to do that with me too?
Oh, well, do I fit the bill?
I think you're pretty funny. No, we're putting on a comedy show here in Kansas City.
Oh.
And so we're looking for other women to join us. We're going to try to make it like a quarterly thing. So if you're a funny woman in Kansas City who can hold her own for about 10 or 15 minutes, call me. I'm
kind of tempted to do
this. So Denise was like, hey, are you doing a podcast? I'm like, no. And she's like, cool, let's do one. I'm like, okay.
And I'm like, what are we going to do it about?
Fuck it, we'll figure it out. And here we have. But I think that's the thing too, is that and it was you being gutsy enough to like reach out.
I felt a little forward. I'm like, how's she gonna take this? And then I'm like, I don't care. I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah, and like meanwhile I was like, yeah, let's do that. That sounds great. Like I've always wanted to do something and coordinate with you and like collaborate with you. So this would be great. Let's do this.
And it's hard because like you're nonfiction and I'm fiction, and but we both have humor. I mean, Jen's is really out there humor, and mine sometimes is a little more subtle, or sometimes not. Like, I have a rom-com series where there's some pretty hilarious scenes, if I do say so myself.
Yeah. And I think that, but by you putting yourself out there and me kind of being in the mood of saying yes to things, because that was something I was talking about in Midlife Bites the other day, was that I have always been a person who, like, I'm always encouraging people to say no. Yeah. Because I feel like a lot of women take too much on.
Agreed.
And so I'm always like, you have to say no to some of this stuff. You have to say no. But I got in a habit where I said no too much. Yeah. And so, like, this is the year kind of yes, where I'm just like, don't be afraid of things. Like, try these things. Yeah. Because with the no thing, it really is because we have so much going on. Yes. And
and I do that. Like I overextend myself. Like, and so I've had to start learning how to say no.
Like as a single mom, like how do you balance all the stuff around your house though? Like do people kick in around here and help you out?
Yes, kids? They do. And we were going to talk about that, but we are run out of time.
Dang, man. Maybe next time.
We've only got a few minutes left to keep it at 30 minutes because we're trying to keep this at 30 minutes.
Because we know you're busy.
Yeah.
So good news. Now we know what we're going to talk about for the next episode.
Yeah, right? Because that's a huge thing. That's a thing that we saw posted a lot. And it's an issue that I face and you know, as maybe Jen does, we'll find out. So, yeah.
Tune in.
Yeah.
We're really selling it, aren't we?
Yeah, we really are. Come back. Please be our friend.
Yeah, right? Talk about you.
We're to the next phase of friendship of begging.
Yeah, I was going to say, talk about like when you're going to like figure out everything you've said. I'm going to be like, oh God, we totally beg people to like tune in next time. Like, what's wrong with us?
Well, if you had fun, you're going to want to come back. Definitely. So make sure that you've subscribed to our podcast so that we'll just like automatically pop up on your phone.
That's right.
It's a little frightening, but we don't bite.
Barely. Denise doesn't.
And we're still new enough that Jen hasn't bit yet. So
there you go. I like that.
Oh, well, okay. So last time we've been to this before, things that we've been doing. So I'm going to start. Okay. I took a 2,000 plus mile car trip last week. And I listened to 4 audiobooks.
Oh my goodness.
So, let's talk about do you listen to audiobooks?
Audiobooks put me to sleep.
Oh,
I have to listen to podcasts when I drive.
Okay. Well, you can tell me a podcast and I'll tell you the audio. So, I listened to 4 podcasts or audiobooks, and my favorite was Where'd You Go, Bernadette?
That's going to be a movie.
Yes.
It comes out like in just a few days.
Yes. And that's part of the reason why I listened to it.
We should go see the movie.
Let's
Let's go see the movie.
Okay,
will you be my friend and go to the movies with me?
Yes, I will.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
so,
yay!
So everybody, that's what you guys should do this week. Like, I feel like we should also like challenge people to do stuff. Like,
yes,
maybe,
let's do. Okay.
Pick somebody who you would like to be friends with and invite this person to do something with you. Yeah. It doesn't have to be a lot, a cup of coffee, whatever.
Yeah, a cup of coffee to see a movie.
Yeah, movies are good because you don't have to talk.
Yeah, go bowling. Although, no, maybe
bowling
not.
Is fun.
But you have to take off your shoes. If you're paranoid about your feet,
wear your best socks. Yeah. Buy a new pair of socks for your friend, okay?
There you go. I will say that's like a paranoia of mine because I can't smell. Oh. So I'm always paranoid that my feet are going to stink.
Yeah, just buy a new pair.
There you go.
Wear flip-flops to the bowling alley. Bring socks with you.
Yeah.
There you go.
So, yes, that's our challenge. Do something. Ask someone to do something with you. And then we're going to post on our page. It's 2 Midlife Mommas on Facebook. And post on there, on the post that we have, and tell us what you did to step out of your comfort zone and invite someone to do something. I can't wait to read them.
I know. Yeah. All right. We'll see you next time.
Okay.
Bye.